This matchup is a six-man tag team matchup. Introducing first, in the ring, hailing from Albuquerque, New Mexico, Boston, Massachusetts, and Las Vegas, Nevada, representing the HWA and the WWF, the team of Race Steele, the baddest mofo on the show. Who's your daddy? Steve Bradley and Val Venis. And their opponents.
Talk about a strong threesome. We've got it right here with Steele, Bradley, and Venis.
Things are looking up right now, but they're going to have their hands full, as I think one of the most powerful forces ever is getting set to be unleashed. This is going to be a great six-man tag team matchup.
Absolutely, and coming to the ring right now, the W.C.W. faction, the trio of Reno, Brian Adams, and Lash Leroux.
Coming to the ring, hailing from the Leroux Bayou in Lafayette, Louisiana, Las Vegas, Nevada, and Kona, Hawaii, representing W.C.W., the team of the Raging Cajun, Lash Leroux Reno, and Brian Adams.
Six-man tag team action coming away. Kevin, you know, of course, we get to hear the invasion, the alliance side of this story every week as Mike Sanders force feeds us information, messages from Shane O'Mac and Stephanie. But thank you for being here today, and maybe you can feed us a little of the WWF information.
Yeah, maybe we can get a little bit of the positive side of the news. Maybe we can get a little different slant out here. I'll tell you what, from Shane McMahon's ear, from Shane's mouth right to Mike Sanders' ear, and then out here for all of us. I mean, when you hear Mike Sanders talk, it's as if Shane McMahon is saying the exact same words. And I think that Mike Sanders, a little bit drunk with power, is really trying to do things, and I don't know necessarily that they're going the right way, as was indicated with just what happened with Jamie Noble.
Well, I don't think that worrying about whether you and I are going to have a job in the future is part of his agenda anyway.
Well, I think as far as Mike Sanders is concerned, 1983 called, they want their wrestling cliches back.
Well, you know, here's the thing I think I can tell the fans without correction and some verification from you is the fact that by us having in the HWA camp now men like Steve Blackman, D'Lo Brown, and Val Venis pretty well speaks for Vince McMahon's commitment to this HWA WCW war.
Well, with the new, great rotation on the power slam, hook him up tight, 2 count only. You know, with the new commissioner now, in Commissioner Mick Foley, there's somebody less who's a great friend to you, has been for many years, and I think that certainly with the WWF forces aligned with the HWA, that this war will be won. And I think that the Alliance troops will be sent packing, but a man like Brian Adams here on the apron of the ring lends a lot of veteran leadership and a lot of power to the team. Lash Leroux, who's a lieutenant of Mike Sanders, and of course Reno, the bodyguard / enforcer of the Alliance effort.
Right now, pretty drop toe hold by Steve Bradley. Nice sit through, comes up with a hammerlock by Reno. And you know, one of the things we're seeing with this invasion, with this HWA versus the Alliance, is a lot of good, stiff competition, Kevin.
Well, you're certainly going to see that in the heavyweight tournament. Can't wait to see what goes on there. Of course, next week, the pairings will see Race Steele against Reno and Brian Adams against Steve Bradley. So we might get a little bit of indication as to what happened next week with this matchup right here. Tag is made. Here comes the Big Balboski, the former Intercontinental Champion, lining up, putting a big boot to the left arm of Reno.
The Big Balboski coming back off of his surgery is looking very streamlined and fit.
Oh yeah, and when Val kicks it up in the next gear, few men in this industry do it better. Here's a cover, and referee Robert Briscoe gets to 2. Reno kicks out. Reno is so powerful. Absolute brute force. I mean, raw, untapped talent potential there with him. That's somebody that the WWF side would love to have.
I'm sure they would. You know, Kevin, of course, we know not only as a spokesman for WWF you're here, but on a scouting expedition as well, looking at some of this great talent, wondering when they're going to be ready to move up to the big dance.
Oh yeah, absolutely, and we're seeing a submission hold here applied by Val, but Brian Adams now coming in and getting a little some from Val.
Brian Adams thought he was going to come in and save the day, but Venis right there and waiting on him and nails him right back to Reno. Reno reverses the whip.
Oh, wait a minute now. Brian Adams, right place, right time. Val taken down, and now the door is open. Reno needs to capitalize. Instead, it's going to be Lash Leroux.
Reno is capitalized and is going to take a rest, it looks like. Sending the fresh without the tag, I might add here.
You know, Lash Leroux is so good, and there's a good move right there. Tag in Brian Adams.
Adams, a known brawler and an enforcer wherever he goes.
Certainly is. I mean, you look at what Brian Adams has done in his career. He has been everywhere. He has done everything. And he provides that great leadership, that stability, I think, where a hothead and somebody who works on emotion like Mike Sanders, where he doesn't bring. And I think that if Mike Sanders, like I told him, if he would talk less and listen more, he might be a better leader.
Well, one thing, Kevin, if you're looking for versatility up in the big dance in WWF, Sanders has his referee's license, his manager's license, his wrestler's license, and I'm not sure if he has a timekeeper's license.
Well, you know what? Maybe we should have Mike Sanders put up the ring. That, I think, is his best skill.
Reno catches the tag, moves right in.
Well, they've isolated Val now, and that's the key. Anytime in a six-man contest where you could keep one man isolated from his partners. Reno now gets caught. Spinebuster, but Val puts himself on the wrong side.
Yes. Reno is still between Val and tagging out, and Val needs to make that tag now. Steele, Bradley, encourage him to make the tag, and the fans are behind Val Venis as he makes the reach.
Tag is made, and here we go.
And Val makes it.
Val tags in Steve Bradley, one of the brightest up-and-coming stars on the World Wrestling Federation's horizon. Now in with Brian Adams. Big neck breaker from Bradley. There's a hard right hand from Lash Leroux. Bradley tries to get some separation so he can display some of that aerial ability.
Steve Bradley, who's your daddy? It's got to be Bradley. Look here, Reno staggered out the mid, ducks that arm, hooks him with a fall-away suplex.
Oh, wait a minute, Race Steele is in. Leg lariat, what a move by Race. Hold on now, Lash Leroux to the top rope. Missile drop kick, Race never saw it.
Referee Robert Briscoe having trouble getting order restored here in this six-man. It's turned into a six-man battle.
While this is going on in the ring, Brian Adams and Race Steele slugging it out. Val and Reno going at it. Lash once again to the top rope, pays for it this time.
Steele is posted up on the concrete pillar.
Oh, look out. Bad things upcoming for Lash Leroux. Oh my, the money shot from the heavens above, but Reno's there to drag Val off of what was certain to be victory.
Here comes Brian Adams. Race Steele can't get it back together after bouncing head first into that brick pillar.
Shot to the midsection, and now, oh man!
Adams, is he gonna, he gets it!
I'm sorry, Steve Bradley's great, but he's not kicking out of that.
Brian Adams, I don't believe, ever got a tag here, Kevin. Of course, the referee does not know that. Steve Bradley uses the fall.
Well, I got to wonder what's going to happen now next week when Steve Bradley goes one-on-one against Brian Adams in the tournament.
And, of course, you got a point there. It could be a psychological advantage going into that tournament match next week. Kevin, we appreciate you being with us. Please come back more often.
Les, I had a great time, and as always, it's great action here.
All right, Kevin Kelly from the WWF with us. We're going to take a commercial break, and we'll be back with more tournament action right after this.